off?
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me in. I am the probably the token Canadian at this point. So it's been a little, you think it's cold there. I've got a lot of snow out here where I am. So, but we are a Seattle-based company. So it's either going to be snowy or rainy wherever I am. All right. Am I ready to roll?
We are ready to roll.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm Jesse Byam. I'm the VP of Sales here at Fraxion. Today I want to talk to you about our procure-to-pay software and our integration, obviously, to the QuickBooks platform. We've got a great integration with that, and we're excited to be here. Just a little quick background on who we are. We were founded way back in 2000. We've been working in the QuickBooks ecosystem for a number of years. Some of you may request or remember this as e-requester, but we merged with a Fraxion in 2019, and so Fraxion is the new brand. But I want to make sure you understand we've been around a long time. We have over 1,000 customers that have used our solution. We manage over 16 billion in spend and have over 200,000 active users on our system. And so we bring that maturity in the purchasing space to our product. And that's where you're going to see what we're doing today. So we're not new. We've been around a long time. We bring those best business practices to you. Our solution, when we talk about procure to pay, we really grew up in that procurement side of the world. And so the procurement side for us is really our bread and butter. And so we have the purchase requisition, obviously the purchase order. We're able to review your policies and your budgets. Those budgets are coming from QuickBooks. And so we're integrated and able to, by GL, pull out what those budgets look like. And if you're using other cost codes in there, be able to add those to our purchase orders as we're going along in other parts of our system, like expense management and those type of things, and put that in there. We also have AP automation. We're able to match or to ingest invoices that are coming into your email or by PDF that you're putting into the system. We use an AI engine to do the review on that. And then we're able to match those up to the POs that we're creating. So you get that three-way match as well as the receiving, and put that through. And we have some other technologies that we use around things like punch out for doing your shopping online. We have a catalog functionality, and all this is all put together because we have a mobile app that works. And so depending on where your people are working, we're able to get to them, whether they're on their computer, whether they're on their phone, we're able to make this work very well for them. Like I said, we're that all-in-one solution. We do the purchasing, the expense, the accounts payable automation. So we're that complete procure-to-pay scenario, and we're able to bring that through the whole process. We integrate with over 50 punch-out vendors. And we've worked with Amazon. We're one of 4 vendors to work with them on a new technology that you're going to start to see here come out called Punch In. And so we're very excited with that relationship with Amazon to be able to provide some of those pieces. We have embedded Power BI so that you're able to do a lot of slicing and dicing of your data and see what's going on. We actually just did a release this morning. So I'm coming off a second call, but we just did a release of our Insights product again with some new enhancements to it, some different roles. Super excited about that. And we're able to use community insights and benchmark against other companies that are in your demographic. So that you're not trying to compare yourself to, say, a Fortune 100 company. You're comparing yourself to other companies that are like you in a similar space and size. So you're able to benchmark is what you're doing there. We can do submit and approve requests via Microsoft Teams. That is being released here right away. And I know lots of people do not have that integration. So that's one piece we're very excited about doing. Like I said, we're in the mobile app and we use AI-powered automation. You can see here one of the things that really
Jesse, you're not
hampers.
sharing your screen, by the way.
Oh, it says I'm sharing.
I don't see anything.
Okay,
Sorry.
we'll try this again. No, that's good. Let's try this again.
I'm seeing
Oh,
the Fraction
I
logo.
can't
Are you
see it.
sharing like the software advice, get
Oh,
app, and
never
tap
mind.
more?
I
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
Yep.
it's me. Never mind.
Well,
Just,
if you're there's nothing better, Amy, than you throwing me off for a little loop. I like it. I keep these interactive. Good job.
I
No, that's okay.
apologize. Sorry.
That's no problem. So as I was about to say, one of the problems with procurement or any type of solution is obviously user adoption needs to be high in order to make them successful. And as you can see here from our software advice, Get App and Capterra reviews, we have one of the highest or the highest ratings over the last number of years around ease of use and overall functionality and user adoption. And that user adoption is key to success. And so we really pride ourselves on keeping this easy and that user adoption so that the projects are successful. As I mentioned, we have the mobile app, which is fully functional, allows you to do a lot of things that you can do with it inside the web app. And everybody's on the go. And so we want to make sure that people have the ability to do everything that they want to do with inside of that. Now, with that, I'm just going to jump straight into the product because I think that's what people want to see here. So let me make this just a little bit bigger for you here. All right, so I'm logged in as a general approver here. I am integrated into Office 360, the Microsoft 365 authentication. So if I'm using Active Directory in the cloud, I can do that. Or if I'm not using that, I have a security model around that. So everybody logs in under their role and we assign those roles to people. So I'm right now as a general requester. You can see my dashboard here. I see total purchase orders I've done this month, what I've done, what my requests are, what my approval times are. I can obviously look at that on a quarterly basis or a yearly basis. You also see my activity timeline here, which says, hey, I've got a purchase order that went in here. It's in an open state. It needs to be dealt with. And so I've got my activity timeline over here. Here's my request that needs to be dealt with. Here's some invoices in a closing state that have come in and now matching up to my POs. And so I can see what's going on. But let's just start quickly with a request. So when I come in, I want to make a request. You can see here I've got other items. I can do an expense report. I can do a travel. I can do a CapEx purchase, a cash advance. These are all just request types. But let's look at today. So let's look at the QuickBooks demo day. I've decided to do that. So I've already gone in and set up a request here, and I want to buy a Surface. If you looked at my company, I think we buy about 10 Surfaces a day. We can put them all over our desk if we needed to, because in our demos, we do a lot of these. But that's there. And if I look at what I've actually done for the request, you can see here, simple. I just typed in, I want a Microsoft Surface. I want the 7. So I'm going to revise that to say 7, my date required. Now, here's where the key is. I can pick my vendor. So if I want to go to Best Buy or wherever to get that, but it's the approval here. This approval path picks how this will move through the system. In terms of if this is an IT purchase, I could put it to IT. If it's just a general or if it's an admin, I can put that and it will, then our workflow engine will dictate where and who needs to approve that depending on, could be by GL count, it could be by department, it could be by location, and we can have multiple variations of that. Our workflow approval model is very strong and allows us to do lots of flexible ways of doing that. You can see here I've added a picture to that. So I'll just save it there. Here it is. But you know what? What I'm missing is a keyboard. So I want to actually go buy that. And I'm going to choose Amazon. So punch out functionality allows me to really streamline the online purchasing experience. You can see here I've got a number of my vendors in here, but I'm just going to click on Amazon because it's important that I make this as easy as possible. Now, Amazon's going to recognize who I am by my login and just kick me straight in and recognize that I'm part of the Fraxion system. And so you'll see here, there's my sales requester account. So I just walk in here and say, I need a Surface keyboard. If I could type, that always helps. Microsoft Surface keyboard. Now the key here is normally you'd come in here, I'd shop, and then I would say, hey, add to my cart. And then when I'm done, so that's there, it would just say check out. But now you can see it's changed here. It says submit these for approval. And when I click submit for approval, this is going to move this back into what you saw there. You can see you're sending to your procurement system. And there it shows up with all the description, who that vendor is, what the costs were. If I open it up, it's all sitting there already loaded for me. And now it just needs to go to the approver. And when it goes to the approver, all they have to do is push, if I approve it, I push approve. We automatically electronically send back the PO to Amazon. Amazon obviously fulfills, we do the receiving, and they electronically invoice me, and we match that up in the 3-way match. So that's how, as simple as creating a request is. I also have a catalog functionality. If I want to go into the store, if I've got I want to really control the way that that's being bought, and I go in here and say, I only want my people to be able to buy from my electronics that I'm allowing them to buy from. I can also do that with inside of our catalog. So you have that option. Now, if I look at my purchase orders as a whole, and I'll log in as an approver here really quick, and you'll see that I am changing roles because we want to make sure that we're having the right people approve. There's my department approver, or only the right people are getting access to be able to approve these pieces. And I look at purchase orders that are open. So these are purchase orders that are in an open state, meaning that they've been sent out. And so if I look at this one, you'll see here, here's the purchase order. I bought a laptop. I've also got a procurement solution, and it's all going to my Seattle location. I can see here I have not done any receiving on that yet. So it hasn't been received. When I do that, I can do a receiving and click what, if there was a problem with it, any issues, I can actually rate my vendors. I can drag and drop the packing slip in here if I want, all those pieces there. Or let's just say I want to see what the PO looked like. Simply print it from here. It will show me what that PO looked like, where it went. Obviously, this is all customizable to what you want. And that's what was emailed out to the vendor. So now it's gone. We know it's gone through the approval process. It's been created as a purchase order. It's gone out. We've done a receiving. Now we get the invoice in. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to log in as an AP processor. So just give me 1 second here. And you're going to see here that my dashboard shows what I was doing in terms of procurement, which I don't do. So it's all big zeros. But the minute I push AP automation, everything's going to start to pop up and say, okay, here's what you've done this month. Oh, I'm early in December, so there's probably going to be I have done a few. But if I look at the quarter, I've obviously processed a lot more invoices. I can see who my top vendors are. So my dashboard changes depending on who I am and what role and what I'm doing. We're actually just this morning did the release of this into production. So this would actually look a little different, but I wasn't able to put that all together for you today. So we're going to work with the old one. And again, activity timeline, things I need to be working on and moving forward. So let's look though at our invoices. So an invoice has come in through an email or I put it in and drag and dropped it. And we use the Microsoft Azure Doc platform to do the AI extraction on that. And what that does is allows me to come in and say, you'll see here in their state, I'm in AI review, which is perfect. I want to be able to review this document. So as I come in here, you can see I've got the invoice number has been captured, the date. You'll see I don't have a purchase order number. And the reason is, as it pops up, you're going to see that there is no purchase order associated on this invoice. And so I can't pull automatically what that PO is. I may need to go look for that one. But in this case, it's showing that it isn't there for me. So it's got that. You'll also see here that I've got percentages of confidence. And so I know where I'm at. Now, as I scroll down in here, you're going to see, okay, well, some of these percentages are dipping, but usually anything above 40, we know is super accurate. But then I was like, okay, well, what about this one at 26? The minute I click here, it's going to take me directly to that transaction and say, well, here's why we're unsure. You can see it's 3 spools. It picked up the 3, and that's where the 26% was. It just didn't know what to do with the spools. So if I need to modify that, I can change whatever I want, but I know that that's good. So I'm okay. I don't need to worry about it anymore. Now, the other thing I can see is any attachments that are associated to that. So here's the actual invoice itself. I can see the history of when it came in, what happened, and this is great from an audit perspective. So when you've got a transaction that's come from a PO, from a requisition all the way to PO to an invoice, you'll be able to see that full transaction. And here's the key. I work a lot with second gear. So I want to be able to attach which PO is associated to this invoice. So I simply would walk in and say, okay, it's this one. When I push attach, it's going to link that purchase order to the invoice. And when it's approved, now I go out and because all I need to do at this point is approve it with a save, and it then is ready to be pushed integration-wise into QuickBooks. And so instead of really quickly, I want to show you what that looks like. So you'll see here's the invoice number, here's the invoice date. When we push that over to QuickBooks, it'll go in and you'll see that here is that invoice, or that invoice has come in as an expense, and it's now been categorized into the right categorization. All the line items are there. And so, oops, sorry, went too far. When we do these pushes into QuickBooks, we're not just pushing it across your header detail. We're pushing across your line item detail as well. You actually have an option how you want to do that, but we bring everything across, including the attachment. And then you'll see that I'm able to also pull that up inside of QuickBooks and see what's going, and then you can make that payment. If you're using a different payment processor, fine, but if you're using QuickBooks for your payment, away you go. And with that, I am done right on time. I always like to keep mine right at the 15 minutes, but if you would like to talk to me, you can use a QR code. It'll take you to our website, allow you to book a demo of what we do, how that integration works with QuickBooks, and we'd be happy to chat with you. So thanks, Amy, for having us.
Yes, thanks, Jesse. And again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat and Jesse can answer them there. So feel free to do that if you do have any questions so we can keep things moving. All right,
Thanks, Amy.
Chris.